How's it going? How's it going? As promised, we are going to be talking with Celeste Rains-Turk, a personal trainer, meal planner, mentor. She has pioneered her way to success, to becoming an industry leader in her field. And I'm super, super excited to be having her on today's live stream. I want to say welcome, Celeste. Thank you so much for coming on here.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so happy to be here.
Not a problem. For those of you that do not know Celeste, she's actually an author of a best-selling book. I have it right here. Okay. Believe Your Way to Badass. Okay. It's a very, very good book. I looked through it these past few days. I actually found out about Celeste through a snap. I follow Caleb Maddox on Snapchat. I found out about Celeste on there. Caleb was talking to Celeste, and the first thing I noticed was how much energy Celeste had about her business. It was crazy. So I decided, okay, I'm going to go look her up on Facebook. I tried to spell her name, and I finally found her. I've been following her ever since. So Celeste, welcome. My first question I just want to dive right in and ask you is, tell me about your background and what it is you do. Tell us about what it is you do, first of all.
Yeah, of course. So what I do is pretty much help people, not even pretty much, but I do. I help people start building more than just a body. That's what I like to call it. So that means that we're focusing on emphasizing the importance of the self-love, the confidence, the mindset, the behavior change modification planning, the wellness development, and of course, all of this coming together with the proper training and nutrition regimen. So this is what I focus on with everybody I work with. I also do, of course, just specifically mindset mentoring and just specifically fitness coaching as well. But my aim in this world is to bring it all together and really help people to embody that whole entire process.
So tell me about how you got your start in fitness. Where did this all start?
Well, I was just really unhappy with what I saw and how I felt about myself and how I felt about my body. And so I decided that I wanted that to change. And I was always an athlete. So I also wanted to be a better athlete with that. Of course, I was like, wow, I want to be at my optimal performance. I want to be functioning at my highest level. But I also wanted to change the way I looked. So even though my fitness journey started from a pretty negative place, which I learned later on, I was able to generate really amazing physical results. And I worked with people. I hired trainers, and I hired specifically Paige Hathaway a long time ago, way back when. And then I remember just like loving everything about it. And I had started just working out in my room. And then I was like, I'm ready to take it to the gym. Like I wanted to be the fit girl. I wanted to be the athlete, the jock. And I always was the athlete and the jock, but like the fit girl in my mind, right? Because that's what mattered to me, is how I felt about myself. And so it became a passion of mine. I loved it, and I couldn't wait to go to the gym. I couldn't wait to work out. I literally spent every single day like thinking about it because I loved it so much, and it consumed me in a positive way. And so I decided that I wanted to be an online trainer, an online coach. And so I got certified in personal training after I did some interning and whatnot, and got certified, and right away started my business.
Well, how long ago was that? How long have you been doing what you're doing now with mentoring people? I know you have a program out, you have a book written. How long ago did you start that venture?
Well, it's almost been, I started when I was 18, and I'm 20 now. So I guess it's almost been like exactly 2.5 years. I know it was in like an April or May.
That's awesome. Which brings me to my next point. You said you're 20 years old, and a lot of people at the age of 20 are just not taking, simply not taking action. You talk about this a lot in your live videos that you do. A lot of people at this age, they're not focused on things like this. Let me ask you this. What is that driving force inside of you?
It's that need to give the world what I know is missing. And it's that drive to provide what's not being provided. And I'm passionate about it. And every single morning I'm reminded as to the fact that I would literally die for my message. And I think that I mean, there's nothing that doesn't or wouldn't drive me from that space because I just love it. I'm like, I have to show up. I have to be there
because I can see your passion in it every time you talk about it. So, I mean, that alone, that's big. When people can see your passion, they know that you are legit. That stands out. When I see passion, I mean, I'm like, here's my wallet, you know? So really, what I want to ask you now is, tell me about the sacrifices that you've made. You're 20 years old right now. What sacrifices have you made along the way? I mean, it could be, hanging out with friends on a Friday night to whatever.
Oh yeah. Well, let's just start there. I mean, I was never a very social person. I mean, I was in like middle school, but like going into high school, I just really started getting my priorities straight, and I already knew that I wanted to do big things in the world, and I knew I was going to make a massive impact. And at the time, I was like, oh, I'm going to be an interior designer, but then everything changed when I got into fitness. So, anyways, I already had my priorities and straight. Basically, I knew what I wanted to do, and I knew I wanted to go after it. I knew nothing was going to stop me because that's just the kind of person that I am. So I didn't feel like I was ever sacrificing anything because I had so much passion to do it and so much drive to actually show up. And I don't even believe that there was a sacrifice because it was always something that I enjoyed and looked forward to. Of course, there were times where I was like invited to different things, or I could have gone out, but I said no, and I have to do this and I had to do that. And there were definitely times where I think I put my business in front of other people, which that can be looked at in two separate ways, but ultimately it was for the greater outcome. And then the biggest, I mean, if you could call it a sacrifice, the largest investment I made is really in money and personal development and taking that time and that energy to put into my growth, not only from my business perspective, but myself, because every business is reflecting the person behind it. Anyways, I know personally I've invested I guess let's just talk about last year. It was over 30 grand just in my own personal development and business in general.
Here's the thing, Celeste, not a lot of people think about, the value in personal development,
Right.
Talk
no,
about,
exactly.
How much that's helped you. How much has that, helped you? I mean, $30,000 in personal development. I mean, what that has done to you.
Yeah. Oh my God. It's changed my whole outlook on everything. I mean, on every single piece of my life. And every morning starts with purpose now. And every day I know exactly what I'm striving for and exactly what I'm here for. And the personal development aspect of it has made more of a massive impact in my business than anything, right? Because if I'm growing, then it's growing as well. But more than anything, it's so hard to say that it's not worth it or that it was worth it, because either way it's priceless, right? Like I got so many golden nuggets from my investments that it's like I am so grateful for every single dollar I put into it. I mean, at one point I spent more than I had in my bank account because I'm committed. Like I said, I'm willing to die for my message.
Real success. So listen, Celeste, I need to know this question. I ask a lot of people this. How do you manage your time? You're building this empire. Do you have restrictions? I know it's hard, with social media and, you got to get a lot of messages and do this and do that. How do you manage your time?
I love to-do lists. I'm like such a to-do list freak, and I'm like, my calendar is my go-to girl. Like my calendar is my person. I love it because, and I say that with so much conviction, because without my calendar, I would be so lost. And actually at one point my phone completely crashed. I didn't have my calendar. I didn't have anything. And I was like, what's going on? So I would say to-do lists and my calendar keep me focused. And also just always asking myself, what is the next best version of myself doing? What would that next level version of me do right now? And then that allows me to really prioritizing, okay, I could do this, and I need to do this, and this is an absolute must, right? I have my non-negotiables that need to get done in a day, and I also don't beat myself up over it if they don't get done, right? I keep that positive and loving mindset to move me forward no matter what.
The non-negotiable, where is that from? I've heard that before. Was that who came up with it? I've heard that before because I kept researching videos on YouTube about time management because I feel like I suck at it. I feel like I'm trying. I mean, I have Post-it notes all over my iMac in front of me. I mean, so I always want to ask people how they devise their tasks, because sometimes I don't know where to start. So
Right.
it's interesting to see, the implementation of the calendar, which I'm trying to get better at. So listen, Celeste, let me hear about this. What struggles, a lot of people, when they see a successful person, they just see the success and that's it. Tell me about the struggles you've faced getting to where you're at right now.
Oh my God. I mean, we're talking like self-doubt, we're talking negative emotions in terms of mostly self-doubt. Is this gonna work out? And going back and forth, the mental battles, the questioning. But you know what? Even though all that comes up, there's still a positive that goes with it. But I would also say relationships, losing friends because filtering out my environment, who's meant to be here, who's fueling my environment, who's supportive in it, who's actually adding to my growth versus who's not, right? Who's showing up and who isn't, what's genuine, what's not. So a lot of culling. There's been lots of emotional shifts, lots of spiritual shifts that have caused lots of tears. I mean, I've had nights where I just can't sleep. I've had days where all I want to do is sleep. I've had moments of, oh my God, everything is falling apart, and moments of, now what do? I have all this happening. So, I mean, overwhelmed, all this stuff has come up, and it's almost it's really funny thinking about it because it's part of the fun and it's part of the process. So, yeah, it is.
It could be part of the fun, but sometimes it sucks. It does.
Oh yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Well, so you got into fitness a few years back. When did you realize that this could be something big? Because I'm sure that what you're doing right now, this is going to be big. At any point, did you tell yourself I'm going full force, 100% at this?
As soon as I knew I wanted to do it, I was all in.
No validation, just going strictly off of the passion for it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I know there's all these different things you can do, market testing, surveying, and looking at your competitors. And I was like, I am who I am and I'm doing, and it's difference because I'm committed to that.
So tell us about your book right here. Okay, your best-selling book. Let's hear about it.
Well, that book is full of pretty much the largest and most influential things that I implemented in my own life to make massive shifts on my levels of success in all areas of life. So that I say it because it's the easiest way to explain it. It literally is about redefining your beliefs, developing your self-love, and manifesting your way to your best, most badass self. So we're looking into exact strategies and tools. And I mean, even when you get the paperback, you'll see it. There's lines in it, so you can write down and you can actually implement these strategies, an interactive guide. So basically, I walk you through getting clarity, setting strong intentions, developing your self-love goes very deep in the book because without it, I don't really believe that we can take that next best decision for ourselves or make that next best decision for ourselves. I go into mindset in the sense of belief systems, obviously, believe it or not badass. So we're talking about looking at the beliefs you currently have, beliefs that don't serve you, that do serve you, redefining them, rewriting them, where did they come from, and releasing them if they don't serve you, and rewiring them, and then of course going into implementation. So I'm talking about a full-on game plan. How are we going to make this work for you? Because there's so much information out there and it's all really positive and powerful, but it's only as good as the action that you take on it. So once we actually walk you through the process and I give you all these strategies, then it's a matter of, okay, here's how we implement it. Here's how we actually make this work. And that's where the manifestation comes into play on an action level.
So you not only have a book, though, you also have an online course.
Yes.
Where people can get into this and they can be mentored by you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm reading your emails. Let me hear a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I have a membership site and I have lots of different things, but my membership site specifically is for people who are really looking to start building more than just a body based on the principles that I shared earlier. And this includes weekly training. So every single week I jump on video and I'm sharing with them in a membership hub whatever the topic is, and they can request a topic or I give them a topic. And yeah, I mean, do you have any specific questions on it?
Who would you say that this is meant for? I know you've described, what you do, but who can get into this right here, what you're offering?
Yeah, absolutely. Anybody can join into it. I recommend that it's somebody who's looking to work out at a gym, or who is somebody who's looking to improve their confidence, somebody who's looking to develop self-love, somebody who is really looking to have a mindset routine, to have mindset strategies in place for their life, and somebody who's looking to start living intuitively. So somebody who's really, really wanting to branch away from the day-to-day diet crazes and regimes and quick fixes and really progress in a natural way that feels good for them. So this is for, and I don't specifically want to say it's just for women or men, because on the site I provide the exact breakdown for how you can develop your own plan. So whether it's building muscle, whether it's burning fat and gaining muscle, whether it's maintenance, it doesn't matter. I'm giving you the exact breakdown on everything. So no matter what point you're at in your journey, you have a plan, you have strategy, you have action. And at no point in time do you have to wonder, like, what is this supposed to mean? Why do I have to do that? Because you're in a Facebook support group and you're getting the insight that you need. You can ask the questions. So it's practically one-on-one coaching. Huh?
So you're there that entire time, guiding, mentoring. So you were not on your own. I think that's the best part that stands out about this membership.
Thank you. Exactly.
Celeste, let me ask you this. What does the future look like? Say 10 years from now, where do you hope to be?
Oh my gosh, stages internationally all over the world. I love speaking. I love showing up, and I want to be, obviously, of course, on the top talk shows, TV shows, really spreading this message, making a massive movement out of it. And really, I see the future changing for everybody, really focusing on developing those long-term results through the inner work and aligning it with the physical results. So I see myself all over. I mean, media, of course, more books, New York Times bestseller, massive.
Absolutely. Listen, Celeste, I really, really thank you for coming on today. One last thing, where can everybody find you?
Facebook. Add me on Facebook. It's a perfect place to
find me. On Facebook. She does Facebook Lives every single night. Lots of value in those. What about your website?
Yeah, definitely. www.shield.
Awesome. Celeste is kind of breaking up. Awesome. Well, thank you. I appreciate this. Thank you so much, Celeste, for coming on. Any final words? What final words would you give to anybody that's trying to achieve success through passion, like you did yourself?
Did you say what advice would I give?
Yes. What advice would you give to anybody looking to achieve success through passion, just like what you did?
Always do what feels best for you. So stop looking for the external world to fulfill you. Allow the internal world to drive your actions, to drive your beliefs, and to really drive the decisions that you make, because ultimately you are the one who's going to determine every aspect of your life. And if you don't rely on that, trust that, and really truly love it, then it's just not going to happen for you. But when you can accept and love who you are, what you're passionate about, and what you want to do, and you can share that with the world, the results will come as a byproduct just by focusing on the inner work and loving it so freaking hard.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Celeste, for joining today. Everybody, thank you for watching. This is Celeste Rains Turk. Make sure to go and check out her book over on Amazon. Believe Your Way to Badass. Have a good night, everybody.
Thank you.